afternoon, everybody. 25th of July. I'm Sam. This is United People's TV. We're back after a couple days off. Well, not really a couple days off. Playing on Saturday. We had Sunday off. How are you all doing? I'm doing great. Slightly refreshed. Ready for a week ahead. The tour is over, but the work is still ongoing. So much for Erik Ten Hag to sort before we play. We play Brighton in less than 2 weeks, right? And we still don't know who's going to start up front for us. We still don't really know what our midfield's going to look like. I feel pretty confident about what our back five's going to be at the start of the season. But I don't really know about anything else. And neither does Erik Ten Hag. And you might come in and say, Sam, I saw it in the comments before I started. Sam, I'm so bored of Ronaldo and De Jong. Can you not just talk about something else? They're literally the two names that are on top of Erik Ten Hag's to-do list. It would be negligent of me to not come on here and speak about both of them. Cristiano Ronaldo, who's not featured whatsoever under Erik Ten Hag. Will he be back at Carrington this week? We still don't know. And that in itself, no other player apart from Cristiano Ronaldo could get away with this to this point. It's just pure Ronaldo. Good morning to whoever is down here in the comments. Vicky, good morning to you. Michael Parsons, how you doing, buddy? Neil, it's your birthday today. Everyone wish Neil a happy birthday. How you doing, buddy? I hope no one lies about that when you say that in the comments. If it's your birthday, say it in the comments, but don't be weird. Ricky, good morning to you. Ferdinand, Ashley, Chris, Brucey. Good morning to all of you. Sashi, Nilanjan, Power. There's lots and lots of you. How are you all doing? Hope you had decent weekends. I mean, Aston Villa, it could have been better, right? I gave you my match reaction after that. It was a first half where we saw lots more of the exciting teamwork-based build-up goals from United. And it was a second half where for the first time this pre-season, we saw us lose concentration. We saw us lose focus. We saw Steven Gerrard throw on Leon Bailey and expose our left flank. It pretty much made it certain, I think, that we'll never really see Victor Lindelof and Luke Shaw starting for a Premier League game for Manchester United this season. But ignoring all of that, there's one thing I want to start this conversation with today, and that is a little picture of Christian Eriksen absolutely enjoying the rain in Manchester. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing Christian Eriksen playing a Manchester United shirt. If you watched my video yesterday, I went through what I felt have been Manchester United's best 11 on the pre-season tour so far. I ran through each position, and I ran through the two positions where I thought there were still weaknesses, obvious weaknesses. And that's one where I think Christian Eriksen's going to step right in. And I'm excited to see what he can do. He'll join up with the team at Carrington tomorrow. The players are having a day off. Of course they are. It was like a sod knows how many hours it was on the way back from Australia. It's a long old journey. So Manchester United won't be in training today. Monday is a day off. They will be returning to Carrington tomorrow. Full team will be there, and we should hopefully be seeing Christian Eriksen join up. And also, remember, right, we haven't had Martinez officially announced yet. So I'm going to presume that should happen today or tomorrow. I'd hope so anyway. The deal's already been agreed. So the only formalities are the medical being done, the visa being agreed, and therefore Martinez can be announced, and therefore Martinez can join up. The sooner that happens this week, the better. That's what I think. So anyway, and there was a comment down there. There is. It's not a new poster. I've had Nemanja sitting down there, but I fancy putting Nemanja on the wall today. Why not? Nemanja's on the wall. And how you doing? Let's try to be positive. That was last season's team. We probably would have lost 3-0 to Villa. Well, we went from 2-0 to 2-2 against Aston Villa. Let's be honest. That's exactly what we did last season. But it's Erik Ten Hag spoke about it after the game. I was going to pull this little quote up later, but I'll bring it up now. This is what he said. He said, that's what I just said in the dressing room, talking about the concentration lapse. A drop of focus is unacceptable. But to the season, I'm happy because now I can tell it. I can tell them that it cannot happen. And if you're trying to look for a positive from that game, you're going to be looking at the fact that it happened in that game, and not against Brighton, not in one of our Premier League games of the season. Ten Hag's now got something to point towards and says, do not do that again. Because it was, I think it was a culmination of a lot of things. I think if you look at our performances in the pre-season, not that they dipped, but it went from like 4-0 to 3-1. Is it 4-0? 4-0, 4-1, 3-1, 2-2. the players went into the pre-season and it started brilliantly. And I think it's physically tough. You're out there, long journeys, jet lag. I'm not giving excuses. I'm giving a lot of excuses there, to be fair. But I'm pretty damn happy with how that pre-season went. There's no way I think any of us thought that we would see such a cohesive team. And it's not about the performances, because had we played like that in that second half against Villa and we came away with a 2-1 win, I would have had a very similar reaction in my match reaction. That goal at the end didn't really change that, because we were dominating in that whole second half. But I thought it was a good pre-season tour. I hope you enjoyed my video I did yesterday. Ray, how you doing, buddy? Saying morning, Sam. I'm hearing this morning that De Jong would take. He's been asked to take a 50% pay cut and to be a third choice centre back. I still believe we're going to sign him. I'm going to be speaking about De Jong next. There's quite a few quotes that came out yesterday. You'll notice that I didn't do any videos on De Jong at the weekend. I've tried, and I will continue to try to not feed the hype and the hysteria, because it's very easy to get swept up in it. And I'll be completely honest, right? I'll be completely honest. At this point, I think De Jong has exceeded any transfer saga we've had before, because we've had a lot of them. I don't know whether it's just Manchester United or every football club has them, but we've had a lot of transfer sagas. But this De Jong one has taken the biscuit, and it only seems to be getting and turning more and more into a farce. But I'm going to be speaking about Cristiano Ronaldo first. I'm down here and saying that the pitch didn't stop Villa scoring, and didn't stop Man United scoring too in the first half either. No one's here saying that it stopped them doing that. Yeah, the conditions weren't optimal. Aston Villa took advantage of that. And the fact that they saw that Lindelof and Shaw was a weakness on the left flank, they put Leon Bailey on. And tactically, we didn't respond because Erik Ten Hag wasn't looking at the game going, I need to win this game. He was looking at that game going, I need X players to get X amount of minutes and X players to get this amount of minutes. So he didn't force the change. I imagine if that was in a Premier League game and he saw the dangers that Bailey was offering on the left-hand side, he would have made that switch far quicker. He probably wouldn't have had Luke Shaw and Victor Lindelof playing there. But we need to speak about, it is the biggest story this week, right? I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you're bored about talking about it, because it's the biggest story of the week. Cristiano Ronaldo has not featured once for Manchester United in our pre-season tour. Not once has he talked to our manager, Erik Ten Hag. And now we're going to be back at Carrington tomorrow. And the big question is, will Ronaldo be there? You let me know. Type yes or no. Do you think that Cristiano Ronaldo will be at Carrington tomorrow? Type yes or no in the comments. Honestly, just like what your gut feeling is saying. No in the know. Just what you really think will happen. Come down it, mate. Oh, it was proper monsoon. Feel sorry for Troy. He was there representing United People's TV, and he got absolutely extra moist, I would call that. Nicholas, I mentioned this. I was a little bit surprised, but Erik Ten Hag sort of explained it. He's like, I want to give all these kids minutes, but ultimately, I want this team to be ready for the season. So he did what he felt was best for getting the team ready. And it will be up to him as a manager to put his arm around Garnacho's shoulder and explain to him, you will get opportunities. Hell, look, we're about to play 2 games in 48 hours. At the weekend, we play Atletico Madrid on Saturday, and we play Rayo Vallecano on Sunday. Garnacho will get plenty of minutes inside one of those games. I imagine probably for the Rayo Vallecano game. Let me go down here and see what you're saying in the comments. Do you think that Ronaldo's going to turn up? Let's have a look. I'm not going to read too many of them out, but you can see how many people are sending in opinions and what you think. And I'll be honest, the overwhelming majority of you down here, you think no. I'm going to go for that's like an 80-20 towards no. Some of you are thinking yes, but the overwhelming majority of you, look how many people are sending in comments. This always puts a big smile on my face. And you disagree, naturally. No. What you're saying down here, everybody. If Ronaldo doesn't turn up tomorrow, that stinks. That will absolutely stink. I'll be honest, this whole thing stinks now. At the very beginning, when this story first came out, I said it was very dangerous for us all to be making assumptions, because we were told it was personal issues, we were told it was family issues, and we all wished Ronaldo and his family the best, especially after what happened this year when they lost a child. The longer this has gone on, the more that has felt like an excuse. Because given what happened last year with Ronaldo and his family, right, the club will be very empathetic of anything that goes on with Ronaldo and his family. And Erik Ten Hag will also be empathetic. But the fact that Ronaldo has not spoken to his manager, that's the thing I can't get my head around. Personal issues, family, and maybe that's because he was out on the pre-season tour. You can say what you want, but I don't think that would be considered a distraction by Erik Ten Hag. I think that will be a conversation that should be had between ultimately one of the biggest and most important players at our football club, certainly on wages. And secondly, I don't know. I do not. If this was any other player, this would not have been allowed. Let's make that abundantly clear. Any other player. I remember when Angel Di Maria refused to get on the pre-season plane. Do you remember that, when he just didn't turn up? And everybody kicked off about that. This is obviously slightly different, as I say, because of the fact that we were talking about the dangers of making assumptions. But because it's gone on for so long, and there's still not been anything apart from... And then Ronaldo was tweeting. I found that so odd. You see the tweet that Ronaldo sent during the game of him training, of him just doing some gym work? I was like, that's a really weird flex. That's really odd. It's not as if you don't know that Man United are playing at that time. Lou, this is a very, very easy question to answer, my friend. Why would Ronaldo ruin his legacy at Real Madrid by trying to get a move to Atletico Madrid? Do you not remember what Ronaldo tried to do before he came back to Man United? Ronaldo was about to join Man City, and he was fine with that. Man United came in, we stopped it from happening. So anybody who feels like there is something that will stop Ronaldo going to Atletico Madrid, where he quite literally is the Antichrist, they hate him. Atletico Madrid got to, 2 Champions League finals against Real Madrid, lost both of them to Ronaldo. I think he scored in 1 or 2 of them. They hate him. They absolutely hate him. But he'll ignore all that if he can get another chance at winning the Champions League, in the same way that he would have ignored everything that went on with Manchester United, and he would have joined Man City. The fact that he was going to join Man City means I can't rule that out. And it's Duncan Castles reporting that. And I thought, man. I remember when Duncan Castles originally reported the fact that Ronaldo wanted to leave United, and I just immediately dismissed it. And that was wrong of me. Duncan Castles, I forgot, is Jorge Mendes' best bud. So the big thing down here, you've mentioned it down there. Whether or not Ronaldo turns up in training is the clincher. And I said that probably about 10 days ago. If Ronaldo doesn't turn up in training tomorrow, it's not game, set, and match, right? Because ultimately, he might be angling for a move to Atletico Madrid, but Chelsea have rejected him. Bayern Munich has said they don't want him, and Atletico Madrid, look, if they try and offload Griezmann by sending him back to Barcelona, don't want Griezmann back. Imagine that. Cody, you think there's no way Ronaldo's going to Atleti? I would not in a million years rule that out, simply because I saw what he did with Man City. Logically, I would say there's no way that he would go to Real Madrid and put such a dent in what is the ultimate legacy of his career. The 4 Champions Leagues he won with Real Madrid, or the multiple Ballon d'Ors. Is he on the same level as Puskas at Real Madrid? I mean, he's right up there. He probably is. But I think he would just dismiss that completely. Just to join Atletico Madrid, just to have another crack at it. Michael, you're saying, look, for the ultimate professional, he is being seriously unprofessional right now. As I said, tomorrow, I think, is the judge of that. Up until this point, look, there may well have been family problems. There may well have been personal problems that stopped him going on the tour. And if it stops him going on tour in the first place, it's going to stop him going on the whole tour. But that tour is over now. Portugal's only a couple of hours away from Manchester on a plane. And any problems that existed should have been able to be resolved to the point where Ronaldo is labelled, and I think correctly, as one of the best professionals this game has ever seen. I mean, his physique now, some people might just look at that as, oh, yeah, great, what is he like? Just some shredded dude. He's 37. He's treated his body with like a fine-tuned ending his whole career, and it's allowed him to continue to this level up until this age. But if Ronaldo doesn't turn up at training tomorrow, man, if I was Erik ten Hag, I would just want to sack him off completely, because at that point he's really undermining Erik. All the work that Erik ten Hag has been doing, in terms of discipline, in terms of getting rid of the old and bringing in the new, making sure, kicking people out of the teams for being late. If all of a sudden you let Ronaldo not come to pre-season, not turn up to training here, what, and then you play him? It would massively undermine all the work that Ten Hag, McLaren and Van der Gaag have been doing to change the mentality. If they let Ronaldo get away with it, then they lose their position of power completely. And that's what makes this such a difficult position for Ten Hag to be put in. Ronaldo's angle for a move away, no one's nibbled. Now he's begging to go to Atletico Madrid, effectively. And if he has to come back in and he doesn't turn up to training tomorrow, I don't know. Joseph, not only do the Atleti fans hate Ronaldo, I can't get my head around Ronaldo and Simeone working together. What, they're going to grab balls with each other in the... Jesus. They're not actually going to grab balls with each other. You know, that celebration that he did. I don't like it, man. I really, really don't like it. I'm going to go down here and see what you're saying. Aiden, you're saying should be able to stop wages if he's not working. If he doesn't turn up to training tomorrow, then it's probably a breach of contract. You're literally not doing your job. Let's go down here and see what else you're saying. Ten Hag's not going to budge. I believe Ronaldo could be an unset. I mean, you can say that. You can make assumptions of that, of course. Acts like a baby, wants to go Champions League all of a sudden. He knew months ago we weren't getting it. And I made that clear as well. The thing that really didn't sit right with me, Ronaldo, was the fact that the timing of it. We weren't getting the Champions League in like April. Like, just say you want to leave then, man. Like, say you want to leave. No United fan would really begrudge you because you're Cristiano Ronaldo. You want to play in the Champions League, and we probably would have said, "Thanks for the 23 goals. Nice to have you back. Let's move on. Let's get someone else young in." And we would have had the whole summer and all that time to fit in to a new Ronaldo replacement. But instead, Erik ten Hag has planned everything around Ronaldo being there. The pre-season turns up, and Ronaldo's not there. We've now gone away and had, I would argue, a pretty damn successful pre-season so far. Martial was taken to the spotlight. And then we come back and the Ronaldo question's still there. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Ronaldo's not helped Erik ten Hag here whatsoever. Now, a name that's being linked with Manchester United was mentioned yesterday by Fabrizio Romano. You remember that I spoke about Benjamin Sesko, what was it, 2 weeks now? I ran through 8 strikers that Manchester United could technically look at if we had to replace Cristiano Ronaldo this summer. And I think he's 19 from Salzburg. Let me make sure he's not. I think he's 19. I checked last night. I don't know why I'm checking again because I know he's 19. Let's go down here and let's check. Yeah, he's 19. I knew that. I don't know why I was checking. Anyway, the 19-year-old from Red Bull Salzburg is probably considered somebody for the future, but at the same time, somebody here who Erik ten Hag could probably coach into being a top-class player. So let's see what goes on with the Benjamin Sesko rumours. But the thing is, right, and again, I find this very frustrating and very annoying. With this Ronaldo situation, Erik ten Hag has always made it clear, well, actually, no, Erik ten Hag hasn't, but we've always known that an attacker was part of the plans for this summer. An attacker was always part of the plans, right? But I think what that attacker is can be influenced by what happens with Ronaldo. If Ronaldo leaves, I think Erik ten Hag is far more likely to be looking at somebody like Benjamin Sesko. Somebody who can play through the middle. Maybe not somebody who's going to come in and steal that spotlight away from Martial, but work in tandem alongside Martial. And somebody like that, 19, would be the perfect foil for that. But then you're kind of relying on Martial being your main number 9 next season. And I'm still concerned about that. I can't help it. I've been burned by Martial before. There's always going to be part of the pessimism there. But if Ronaldo stays, then maybe a focus is going to be more on someone like Antony. Somebody who's more of a winger, rather than somebody who plays through the middle. Because if Ronaldo stays, then you've got Ronaldo and Martial through the middle, and technically you kind of got enough there. So this is what I mean. This Ronaldo situation, not only is it having an effect on Erik ten Hag's plans as to what to do with Ronaldo, it's having an effect on what to do without Ronaldo and the attacker that we're going after. So it all revolves around the timing. The timing is the thing I do not like about it at all. I'm not going to begrudge Ronaldo for leaving United because we're not in the Champions League, but shit me, don't leave us up shit creek by doing it the way you've done it. Captain hindsight and all that. I don't know. I don't like it whatsoever. I don't think Erik Ten Hag likes it. And I personally think tomorrow is the point where we really judge whether this has been family impersonation or whether this is just effectively Ronaldo putting in a transfer request and refusing to train. Because tomorrow, if he doesn't turn up, he's refusing to train. And that's the point where this really switches with United fans. I think so anyway. And as I said, Ronaldo, up until this point, has been considered the most serious professional in the world. Don't turn up to a training Ronaldo tomorrow. The brand, his brand is so important to him that I think he will turn up to training tomorrow, because there is significant amount of damage that gets done to his brand, in commas, his brand, if he doesn't turn up. Thank you very much. You sent in a super stick. I don't actually know what that is. Someone there saying they sent in a super chat and I didn't read it out. Let me scroll up here. I don't particularly remember seeing one. I try not to miss any of them, but no, I can't see one up here, my friend. So if you did send one in, no, I haven't seen one. But look, Ronaldo, as I said, I think he's going to turn up. But given what's happened so far, you can't rule it out. Let me see what else you're saying down here. Ronnie isn't as professional as we think. This guy won't turn up. As I said, if the value of his brand is there, that he's built it all around that ultimate professional. And that's what he keeps trying to do with the couple of messages that's been sent in. A couple of messages that he's been sending to fans with his tweets. Ugh, hard work. Ugh. You don't know what's happened with Ronaldo's family. No, nobody does. But as I said, you really would expect him and Erik Ten Hag to have a conversation. And if that didn't happen because he was on pre-season tour, Ten Hag's back now. Tomorrow is where it all changes for me. That's what I think so. Now, Warren, you're asked the question, and it is on to De Jong. And as I said, look, everybody that seems to, I don't know, it kind of feels like you want to have a go at me for reporting the De Jong news. It's like, I don't, trust me, it's pissing me off as much as it's pissing you off. It's pissing everybody off. And as I said, I think we've had our fair share of sagas before. We've had Schneider year on year. We've had Gaetan. We've had Fabregas. We've had Bale. We've had Ramos. We've had, I mean, there you could probably name another 5 to 10 players down here inside that. But this De Jong situation now, I kind of think it's worse than anything we've seen so far. And what makes it worse is the fact that we've agreed a fee with Barcelona. And we agreed a fee weeks ago. That makes it worse. Because we've done the hard part. We've negotiated. We've agreed the fee with Barca. That's technically the hard part of every deal. But not in this situation. Not in this situation. Let me run through, okay? There's a couple of quotes that came out over the weekend. One from Xavi on De Jong. One from Joan Laporta on De Jong's situation. And there's a couple of comments I want to say as well. I think I might have to check down here though quickly. Yeah. Mate, Sigmund as always. Sigmund is the OG, not the OG, but he's the G of the channel. He is Santa. Sigmund, I salute you. So he's giving out 5 gifted memberships again. I didn't gift any memberships actually on Friday. I apologise about that. But thank you very much to Sigmund for giving it to him. Maybe Jeremy, maybe you've just got one. But thank you very much. Everybody say thanks to him. Let me go down there and I'm getting distracted there, sorry, by the gifted memberships. As I said, the community just puts a big smile on my face. It's so generous, this community. It really, really is. Ray, what are you saying, sir? Ten Hag should get rid of him ASAP. It'll be toxic in the squad if he stays. Big up from Saudi. I don't think he would necessarily be toxic per se, but he would take a little bit of power away from Erik Ten Hag if he doesn't turn up to training tomorrow and he's just allowed back in without any sort of reprimands. Because Erik Ten Hag has been driving a hard line with discipline the whole way through the pre-season tour. So he's going to have to take that same hard line with Ronaldo, even if Ronaldo doesn't like it or not. Let's run through the comments from Xavi on De Jong. Let's have a quick conversation about it. This is what Xavi said on the De Jong deal. He goes, I'm not here to send messages. I already spoke with Frenkie, and I value him very much. wait for the caveat, he's a key player. But then there's the economic situation and financial fair play. He can give us a lot also as a centre-back. And I'm sure you've seen that. We've all seen it in the first couple of games in the pre-season tour. Frenkie de Jong has started both games on the bench, come off the bench both times, and played as a centre-back. He's played as a centre-back both times. Not even in midfield, as a centre-back. It almost feels like Barcelona just openly just taking the piss out of Frenkie de Jong now. Now, of course, he has played as centre-back before. He played there under Koeman. I don't know whether he's played as centre-back for the Dutch national team. I think he's always played in midfield. But he's more than comfortable receiving the ball from the defence first. That's what he wants. But he doesn't want to play as a centre-back. But Xavi there saying, yeah, he can give us a lot. He can play as a centre-back. We go over here, and this was coming out from Sport in Spain last night. We don't know. Again, we don't know whether this is the truth or not. But it just adds to the farce, doesn't it? It adds to the farce of the whole situation. Xavi has spoken with De Jong, made it clear he's counting on him. But if he wants to be part of the project, he has to make an effort. And that includes halving his salary. Could you imagine that conversation? Like, your boss brings you in. You've been working hard. You feel like you've done well. Maybe you didn't have the best year last year, but you know you've got so much more to give to the business that you love. You go into that meeting. You're excited about the future. You see they just brought in you've got a new line manager and you're excited to work with him. Brilliant. Your boss brings you in. I love you, man. You're so important to the company. Can you just, first of all, work harder? And B, can you get paid 50%? Do you mind taking a pay cut? Half your wages for double the amount of work. How does that sound? I mean, I know you've already I know over the last couple of years that, you've given us 65% of your wages back. But it's kind of not enough. We want more. So can you just permanently take that 50% pay cut? We'll forget about the 65%. Don't worry about that. No, that was an accident in the past. We'll forget about that. We'll just go out for a drink on Friday. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it feels like Barcelona are just trying to take the piss out of De Jong. I think it goes down to his agents, I think at this point it's going to come down a lot to advice. A lot of the people, because I think Frenkie is so innocent. I think he's a bit innocent in this situation, and I think I think Barcelona are taking advantage of the situation. And yeah, the idea that they just invited him into the office, said, you're really important to us. You're really important, but you got to take half. You got to take half wages. It's insane, man. Matt Frost saying that's a good photo of yourself on the wall. That's not bad. That's pretty close, actually. They're a joke. Barcelona are a goddamn joke. Joan Laporta here saying, look, Frenkie de Jong is our player. We really like him. We received some offers for Frenkie, but we didn't accept as of now, as we want to talk to him and know exactly what he wants. AKA, we want to find out whether Frenkie de Jong will be happy to take a 50% pay cut. And hell yeah, KD, can somebody get on the phone to Louis van Gaal and have a quick conversation with him? He was quick to talk to Yuri and Timber and tell him not to join Manchester United because he needed game time. Well, I imagine Louis van Gaal, you should go and have the same conversation with your boy Frenkie and say, look, stop letting Barcelona take the piss out of you. Go and play for a manager that loves you, that knows you, that will make you the centrepiece of a new-look Manchester United team with a new not new ownership structure, but a new power structure at the club that clearly will be giving you more. Xavi to Frenkie, can you half your wages so we can give them to Robert? Yeah, look, Frenkie, man, I know we're broke, and I know that we've just signed Lewandowski, and I know that we've just signed Rafinha, and I know that we signed Christensen on a free and Kessie on a free, and I know that we're about to sign, well, we're trying to sign a 50 million euro centre-back in Jules Koundé, but honestly, we love you. We love you, we want you to stay, but honestly, leave. Take 50% pay cut or leave. But we love you, honestly. It's just, they are a goddamn joke of a football club, Barcelona. What they are doing this summer, I think, will be remembered. The way they're acting, it's like having no money, maxing out a credit card, and then getting another credit card to pay off that credit card. And that's what happens with some people. You get into a debt spiral. You're just constantly getting a credit card to pay off the previous credit card until all of a sudden your credit cards mount up until you owe millions and millions, and in Barcelona's case, billions, because they've taken all these loans out to buy players, not to pay off debt. They've done it to short-term fix things if they want. Mate, I hope it doesn't work out with them. I hope Lewandowski gets an injury and they just get relegated. Carmen, what are you saying? Is there no player protection in cases like this? Effectively, this is a job right. In the real world, Barcelona would be in breach of contract. We don't know what contract he signed. We really don't. And I kind of made a joke on Twitter yesterday, and it seemed to go down pretty damn well. But I was like, look, maybe you're going to see Frenkie de Jong playing in goal for Barcelona in the next game. That's how much it feels like they are just taking the piss out of him. As I said, I think there's kind of parallels between what Ronaldo is doing to Manchester United and what Barcelona are doing to Frenkie de Jong. The reason I'm saying there are parallels here, look, relegated. I might have gone a bit extreme. They're probably not going to get relegated, but I hope their season absolutely blows up in their face. I think Ronaldo is taking advantage of the power that he knows he has at Manchester United in this situation. And I think Barcelona are taking advantage of Frenkie de Jong, knowing how much he loves the club and the strengths that they have in that situation. And in both cases, Man United are losing out. And in neither case, really, is it particularly our fault. I mean, you could say the fact that we're not in the Champions League is our fault, but Ronaldo's part of that team too. These are the two things that are on top of his to-do list. This is what Ten Hag needs to get resolved this week. Ronaldo's situation and future, and De Jong. I'd love it to be resolved this week with De Jong, and I'm going to say this every goddamn week until it is resolved. Until we've got an answer on De Jong, a definitive yes or no, it will be the number one thing on that to-do list. And you might not like it. I'm not going to ignore it. We'll have conversations when we need to have conversations. But there are no alternatives. Not on the same level. I'd love to know how much of a pay cut Xavi and Laporta have taken. Yeah, good luck with that one, Joseph. They probably got bonuses. Yeah, I'll be honest, their squad is insane. Before you ranting on Barca, do you even have a personal agreement? We don't need a personal... Well, that's exactly what we need, actually. That's the only thing we don't have. We've agreed a fee with the club. Barcelona have agreed to sell Frenkie de Jong to Manchester United. They've given us... They've sold him. But they can't sell him until they resolve his contract situation. Nico, that's a good question. Maybe I can do a Benjamin Sesko scout report. Would you like to see that? Maybe I'll do that today. Milos, I'm sure you're enjoying the poster on the wall, my friend. I'd love to visit Serbia at some point. I'd love to visit all that part of Eastern Europe. I've never been further east than Albania, Croatia, and Slovenia. I'd love to go inwards to like Hungary, Budapest, Serbia. Oh, great part of town. I think it'll be great anyway. But look, that's the main couple of conversations that we've had to have down here in the comments today. Ronaldo and De Jong. They are the two big things on his to-do list. I think there have been so many, and honestly, like now that the pre-season tour is done, I did my last pre-season tour video. I've said this a few times, and I will say this. I'm going to hold that series, that pre-season series up. It's probably one of the best things I think I've ever done as a series on YouTube. I feel like it was informed. I feel like it was correct, and I feel like we watched United develop through that couple of weeks, and I feel like we covered it really well. So I'm happy that I did that, and hopefully we can do more stuff like that across the season. It's obvious that I think we're kind of crafting our own little niche here on United People's TV. People are enjoying the analysis. People are enjoying the sort of more informed, maybe tactical conversations, and it feels like we found our place. And I'm going to try and do more of that as the season goes on. But this week we've got two games coming up against Atletico Madrid on Saturday. I might be going to Oslo. I need to try and sort flights and all that stuff out. I managed to sort press access. That's why I want to try and get it sorted. If I can't go, I will cover both of them anyway, because it's a busy weekend. There's two games in 48 hours. And as I said, I'm the only person here on United People's TV. So it's a little bit difficult for me to go and do stuff like that and accurately and completely cover everything. Joseph, apart from being asked to take 50% pay cut, Frenkie had better be aware that they don't ruin his chances to go to the World Cup. There's no way he can trust them. I'll be completely honest. I don't think that... I don't think that anything Barcelona do will really affect Frenkie de Jong's World Cup chances. I think he's going to be starting for that Dutch team. He's that good a player. I think he'll just force his way in anyway. I might be wrong in that, but I think so anyway. Ray, what you're saying? What Barcelona is doing is setting up de Jong, saying he's asked to take a pay cut, but he wouldn't. So we had to set it. Yeah, it's obvious. They have been painting him as the villain for a long, long time now. That's what I mean. They've been taking advantage of a situation where de Jong's a bit innocent. He's clean cut. And they're trying to, character assassination to protect themselves. They've been doing that for a long, long time. Thank you very much, Gene, for your compliment there. Come to Uganda as well. Man, there's a lot of places I've got to visit. Let me see what else you're saying down there. Forget de Jong? Nah, let's not forget de Jong, people. Great community here, says Daisy. Don't get caught in I try not to get caught up in the nonsense. Sometimes you get caught up in the nonsense, but it's impossible not to. It's the internet, right? If you don't have a thick skin on the internet, you shouldn't have to say that sentence, but unfortunately that's what the internet is. The internet gives people the ability to load a gun and fire it without having to deal with any sort of consequences for their actions. Until that changes, you have to have a thick skin on the internet. I think I've got a pretty thick skin. But look, let's have a quick run through, because I'm going to run through my video that I did yesterday. I ran through what I felt was the best starting 11. Let's go here and let's take a look at this. You can let me know in the comments what you think about it. I think the list is quite accurate. James Ducker from the Telegraph, he's identified 3 players that he thinks were the real winners from the tour, and 3 players what he thinks who are the losers. Chris, what are you saying there? You're saying, Sam, if United go to Oslo, why are they back in Carrington tomorrow? They're back in Carrington tomorrow, and then they fly out to Oslo on Friday, presumably for the game on Saturday against Atletico Madrid. That's where our game is. There's a comment down there. No matter what, we are going to get de Jong anyway. Let's hope so, eh? Scams, skin as thick as a crocodile. No, my skin's all right. I'm moisturised. I'm a modern man. I'm moisturised. Nothing wrong with that. But let's go over here. Let's run through these winners and losers. And I think you all know who's probably going to be on top of this list, and I think is absolutely correct. Because the big winner from this tour was absolutely Anthony Martial, wasn't it? Anthony Martial, when we went into this pre-season tour, we had no Ronaldo. We were like, what's going to happen? How are we going to play this season without Ronaldo? And then Martial, he impressed us all. First game, we were like, that was good, but okay, we've seen this before. Second game, you're like, oh, right, okay, you build it on top of that. Third game, 3 in a row, you're like, this Martial looks decent. Fourth game, I'll be honest, he dipped, everyone dipped. Second half, certainly. But Martial, with the spotlight, with the focus purely on him, he really shone. And he's kind of forced his way into the plans. And I think he can be pretty happy with his performances, and I think Erik ten Hag will be happy with his performances. It goes to show that he can operate inside this system. Who do you think was the best player on tour, though? Type your name in the comments. I'll go down here, and the second name on James Ducker's list, I think is absolutely right on this one, and I spoke about this in my video, and that was Diogo Dalot. I think he really, really impressed. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect him to be as good as he was. I knew that Dalot would. Well, Dalot's always had a natural capability going forward, but he hasn't been able to match that up with positional discipline in defence. It's always been a weakness, in the same way that Aaron Wan-Bissaka, naturally a good defender, pretty damn bad going forward. Diogo Dalot was really smart, and I tell you one thing that really helped him is our switch to cutbacks. Our switch, instead of firing in an aimless cross, Sancho, Dalot, Rashford, Shaw, Malacia, everybody was focusing purely on cutbacks. On the ground, cutting it back towards the edge of the box, waiting for the late runner in. And I think that's really going to help Dalot next season. I'm going to go down here and see who you think the player of the tour was. Let's have a look. Honestly, well, whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that. That was what happens when you accidentally press back. Let me just make sure my microphone's still working. There we go. Yeah, right. Let's pretend that never happened. And let me go up here and see who you think was the best player on tour. And what I was trying to say before I managed to cut myself off is, honestly, I love it how many people fire in comments. So please always continue doing this. That's what's making the community so good. Josh, you're saying Malacia, Sancho, Delo. Lots and lots of you saying Sancho. Sancho and Malacia, Sancho Delo, Charlie Savage. I think it'll be, let's not go crazy, right? Let's not go crazy and say Charlie Savage was, and you're saying it as well. No, I don't think he was the best player on tour. He may have been one of the bigger winners on tour, but he certainly wasn't the best player on tour. I'm looking forward to seeing Savage continue to play. And I think the way that Savage and Iqbal played showed that they'll probably be part of our first team setup next year. I don't think they'll be part of the first team, but they'll certainly be in that squad. And the third name down in this list, of course, is Jadon Sancho. And I completely agree on that. I think, for me, the three winners were those. The three winners, big winners, were Martial, Sancho, and Delo. All in their own right. Sancho just established himself as he's going to be... Sancho is... Oh, man. I cannot wait for the season to start for Jadon Sancho. Sancho was... That period of form we had between February and April, wasn't it? Looked fire. And the way he's been playing this pre-season, and especially out on the right-hand side, making a big difference. You know, he has been switching flanks with Rashford occasionally, but it's on the right-hand side where we've seen the best of him, and he looks like an £80 million world-class, game-changing, game-winning attacker. And I can't wait to see how he continues to play. And you're saying you're choosing Savage because of well, then you've just chosen Savage because he's the most improved, not because he was the best player. They're two completely different things. I'm sceptical of Martial, says Helgon. He's had no competition. He's always dipped off when he's threatened with pay. Let's find out. Everyone's going to have their reservations about Martial, but if that Martial can come on, the same teenager that burst onto the scene against Liverpool and had that lovely season under Louis van Gaal, that same Martial that was there for a whole season under Solskjaer, 2019 to 2020. That Martial comes back, we'll have a player on our hands. We know that. But we all know that he's susceptible to just going glassy-eyed and just disappearing. I just hope that doesn't happen, because it can't happen. Now, in terms of the biggest losers of the pre-season tour, let's go through and let's read some of these. And I think we'll probably all agree on that one as number one. I said it in my match reaction after the Villa game. I said, I think it suits everybody at this point if we manage to cut our losses with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's career will only stagnate if he continues to stay at Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka will not force his way into our first team. Diogo Dalot is going to be our first choice. Maybe Ethan Laird's going to be our second choice. Maybe someone else is going to be our second choice. But Wan-Bissaka, he just at no point has Wan-Bissaka looked comfortable playing this system. He's probably tried, and I'm not questioning his work ethic or his professionalism. I'm questioning whether he suits the system, and he does not suit the system. And because we're a system team now, you have to get players in who suit it and get rid of players who do not suit it. So Wan-Bissaka, for me, I agree with James Ducker. He's probably the biggest loser on the tour. And this second one, I don't think it's controversial now to say this in any way, shape or form. But Donny van der Beek, and I can see it in the comments, quite a lot of you are saying it too. Yeah, man, Donny van der Beek, he didn't take advantage. He got outshone by Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal. There was one fleeting half and cameo against Crystal Palace where you looked at him and went, there he is. That's where we want you. On the edge of the opponent's box. But then against Aston Villa, because I think he was focusing on that, he was massively detached from the game. And I said it in my match reaction. I said, look, you're comparing... We had Fred sitting as a sort of the deeper of the three midfielders. And fair play to Fred. I think Fred really improved in this pre-season tour. Really proved that he can play in that semi-sort of role. And also the importance of it, and this is key, the reason that Fred was able to operate inside that role was because Malacia tucked in and became a sort of like a second holding midfielder alongside him, or Dalot did when the other one went forward. Having that extra body alongside it made it easier for Fred to operate inside that role. It's quite an important thing. Gilbert here saying, how are you guys forgetting Bailly? I'm not forgetting Bailly. Bailly was great, and Bailly did what he did, but I've seen this before. I know the end of this film, and Bailly's... I want Manchester United to sell Bailly, get good money, move him on. I don't think that he will be playing for Manchester United next season. Well, he might be, but I don't think he should be. I think we should be just shipping him off, man, because I don't want to have the conversations about Bailly anymore. Oh, he's great. He's great. He got injured. Oh, he's made an absolutely horrendous mistake. Erik, exactly there. That's the best comment there. Bailly was Bailly. When he plays great, puts a massive smile on your face. But there's always part of you going, and you don't want to do that with your centre-backs. But yeah, Donny van der Beek was a big loser on this pre-season tour. Even with McTominay playing pretty damn invisible for a lot of the time, he still didn't outshine him massively. I think they were equally as invisible. Of those four players, Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal absolutely took the limelight away from Van der Beek and McTominay. I would probably put McTominay in the same category here as Van der Beek. Who else is down in the losers list? Let's have a look. Alex Telles. People. Again, there's two words, I think, that are massively misused online. One is literally. Go and look at the definition of literally. It only applies if you quite literally use something to do something. People are like, I literally died. You didn't, mate. You're alive. Anyway, number one is literally. Number two, agenda. I've not got an agenda against any player. Some people, everybody loves to, as soon as you say a negative opinion on something, you've got an agenda. No, I've just got an opinion. I don't have an agenda. I will happily praise Bailly and continue to praise Bailly when he does something good. But I know what's going on with Bailly. An agenda is when you are unable to, like, anybody who dislikes Harry Maguire. Geez, you know what I think about Harry Maguire. But did you see me praising Maguire for when he was playing well in the pre-season tour? Yes, absolutely, I did. An agenda is when you can't see the positives of anything because you're so focusing on the negatives. That's what an agenda is. I don't have an agenda against any player. The only agenda I've got is for Manchester United to be decent again. That's it. Honestly, it's the only agenda I have. Alex Telles, by the way. I mean, I said it before the pre-season tour that he should be sold. I'll say it after the pre-season tour that he should be sold. It's not an agenda. Telles just isn't good enough. Simple. And he's third choice left back now behind Shaw and Malacia. And the only reason that he was playing as a defensive midfielder is because we haven't signed Frenkie de Jong or anybody else. The only reason that he was playing as a left centre-back is because Erik Ten Hag wanted to see what a left-footed player would do to the build-up play. And as soon as Martinez comes in there, done. The only reason he played there is because we haven't got Martinez. Telles, ship him off, man. United, start selling players properly. I heard about Brandon Williams getting linked with a £15 million move to, I think it was Southampton? No, Brighton. It was Brighton to replace Cucurella at left back. Good. He's definitely worth 15 million. Scored at Manchester United, played in the played a full season at Norwich. Yeah, good. 15 million. Fine. Telles, he is not going to play at United next season. If we keep him, we are wasting wages. We are wasting a position inside that squad, and we are wasting attention of our coaches and our manager. Get rid of him. Get rid of Bailly. Get rid of Telles. Get rid of De Jong. Get rid of Tuanzebe. Let's move on. There's lots and lots that has to happen. And Wan-Bissaka too. So much still to go on at this club. It's been a busy as hell summer so far, but there's still so much more. Now, building on what I just said there in the conversation we just had about the winners and losers, this is what I picked out as probably, let's just say, I called it the best 11 of the pre-season tour. It's not because all 11 players played incredibly well, because they didn't. We just had a conversation there about Van der Beek being one of the worst. Lindelof is there because I think, Varane, you can put Eric Bailly down there if you want, and I probably should have put Eric Bailly down there. Now I've actually just thought about that live on the camera, I probably would have put Eric Bailly there ahead of Lindelof because I think Lindelof was pretty poor. But I said, you know what changes? Look at this. This is what I would say was maybe the best of what we saw, apart from, as I said, now that I've thought about it, probably Bailly there instead of Lindelof. But look how much that changes just by dropping in our two signings, Martinez and Eriksen. That role there that Van der Beek was doing poorly, and that role that Scott McTominay simply wasn't capable of doing, Eriksen could shine in that role. And I think if we're looking at probably the best 11 that we've got against Brighton, I imagine that's probably going to be it, right? I can't wait to see Martinez in this team. Honestly, I'm really excited about what Christian Eriksen can do. But Martinez is the one that's going to change the shape of our build-up, change the shape of our control, change how confident we are playing the higher line. He'll change so much more than Eriksen. Eriksen will just make us better in attack. But Martinez is the bigger piece. I think so anyway. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments. A couple of super chats fired in, and then I'll read what your reaction is to that. I'll just put up on screen there. I agree with you mostly, but Bailly is one of the few defenders that we have that has the pace to play in a high line. Yeah, call it pace if you want. He does have pace, but he doesn't have the temperament and the intelligence to play for Manchester United week in, week out in the Premier League. He'll get red cards. He'll kill games. I love Bailly. He's too much of a hothead. I'm sorry, and that's no agenda. That's just what I'm seeing. And yeah, Maguire's got his faults, absolutely. I know he's got his faults. But I think Maguire's shown in the pre-season that he probably can play. I don't still have such reservation about the pace, but I'm not going to choose a defender just because he's athletic and rapid. I'm not. Ideally, I think we'll probably get someone. Ideally, Varane stays fit, and we don't have a conversation about Varane. No, we don't have a conversation about Bailly or Maguire. But then Varane's got to stay fit. Easier said than done selling players because of the high salaries they have. Well, that's what Manchester United. Whoops. Maybe not get rid of De Jong. Maybe I said the wrong thing there. And of course, you're right about the wages. I know you're completely right. There's one more super chat here, which is saying, Joseph, would it be fair to say it's too early to judge Van der Beek? Have to remember that Ten Hag is trying different players in various positions. I think we need a bit more time with Donny. Yes and no. Shit me, we've been saying that for so long. Van der Beek did not do enough in his pre-season tour to force his way into Erik Ten Hag's plans. Eriksen's going to come in and go straight above him in the pecking order, I would imagine. Although he's got to prove himself, of course. But Zidane Iqbal forced his way into Ten Hag's plans. Charlie Savage forced his way into Ten Hag's plans. Van der Beek went sideways or vertically downwards. That's why I think so anyway. I may have said the wrong thing. Let me go down here and see what you're thinking. I agree with you. Eriksen is another good option, mate. Of course, Eriksen's going to be fantastic. We see what else he's saying down here. Injuries. You're saying Fred's the best player of the pre-season tour. Mate, De Jong. That's one of my biggest takeaways from the pre-season tour. I look at every performance and I think, what would that have looked like if De Jong was playing where Fred was? It's such a transformative signing, man. Too erratic, easy to sell. I can't be bothered to talk about Bailly anymore. No offense to Bailly. But look, I think Varane will be a liability. I think Varane will. Jeez, man. I'm so upset about Varane. Sorry. When we signed him, I was like, my God, it's gonna be so good, so good. Ultimately, he hasn't been. But look, I'm going to answer a few of your comments. I was going to run through a full article here from The Athletic on the tour and sort of the Ten Hag and the discipline, but we've already been here 53 minutes. I think we've had quite a long stream today. We'll wrap it up. But I'm going to read it. Anybody who's got a question that I haven't answered, fire it in now. I'll try and answer as many as I possibly can for the last couple of minutes. Brian, you're saying thoughts on Garner? Really, really unlucky, James Garner. Got injured on the first day of pre-season tour. I think we would have seen a lot more of him during his pre-season had he not got that injury. But then at the same time, he might not have seen as much of Zidane Iqbal or Charlie Savage. So, with every negative, there's a positive. But hopefully he gets a full week of training at Carrington. Hopefully he can get a full 90 minutes under his belt, either against Atletico Madrid in Oslo or Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford. And I imagine it's probably going to be Rayo Vallecano. But I hope he stays. I think we could do with his strength in depth. But then it depends whether you think that a regular starting position in another Premier League team is more important to him or just staying and be part of our squad. I don't know. I really don't know. Am I sure of De Jong? I'm sure of one thing. Barcelona want to sell him. I'm sure of another thing. Barcelona have to sell players. Because they can't register Rafinha and Lewandowski until they do so. Unless, of course, these levers come in, but the leavers can't change their salary cap. That's the thing you have to understand about all this money that's coming in for Barca. It can't change their salary cap. Jesus. 2 games on Saturday and Sunday. What he's saying down here. Whether Donny van der Beek has played, he's never given enough to wow us. I think he's had a lot of games, man. He really has. How can Barca sign so many players and not sell? It's not shady business. It's they don't have to have their accounts done until a certain date. So it's all just smart accounting at the moment. Tell me why Maguire should not be sold, because he's not going to be sold. It's not a case of why Maguire should not be sold. Our manager has decided to back him, and he's not going to be sold. So there is no having to tell you why. Erik Ten Hag's already told you that. So what's my opinion got to do with that? Coffee or tea? This might be a controversial opinion, but I don't drink hot drinks. I like water. I just never got along with caffeine. That much anyway, unless it's Lucasade and I'm hungover. Then caffeine's great. What else is he saying down here? Garner can't do any worse than, well, yeah, Donny was disappointing, man. Donny was massively disappointing. Oh, you're right there. Everyone drop a like on the video. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. I think it was a good show today. How badly are we going to suffer with the five subs rule as we have a weaker squad? Well, we don't know that yet. We've still got, what, just under 2 weeks until the season starts? Maybe we can get another couple signings done. I very much doubt it. But, yeah, whatever that attacker is will depend, I think, on what happens with Cristiano Ronaldo. Damn it, why is that still not blocked? I need to sort that on Facebook. Jibak, how you soon? Just joined, missed the show today. Any thoughts on Benji Sesko? Apology if you've spoken about him. The kid is mad talent. I'm excited. Lots of you will probably want some information on Benjamin Sesko, so maybe I'll get a video lined up on him this week, like a full story looking at Benjamin Sesko. But at this moment in time, I think it's just another name that's being linked with us, rather than anything that's going too deep. But certainly, we're taking a look at him. Top scorer this season? Ooh, it's a good question. I'd love to say Bruno. I want him to score like 25. Bang them all in, because Bruno's looked very, very good. Let's see what else he's saying down here. Savage could be a good alternative. What's going over here? Kervin, use Slayton by for minor individual errors has been a hot hit, but almost never ever all mistakes have cost us 90% of goals by lack of positioning, control and pace. Blah blah blah. Kervin, have you not seen me absolutely annihilate Maguire like all of last season? I think people love arguments on the internet, and they love controversy, and they'll find any angle to try and go in there and just sort of like cause a little division and say, well, what about this? So I didn't say that. Because while I'm asking, what about this? People just enjoy doing it. It's weird. What's everyone saying down here? Let's have a look. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, you madman. First of all, thank you. Second of all, your wife's going to leave you if you keep sending in 50 memberships. But thank you very much all to send in 50 memberships to everyone. Helping the community continue to grow, man. What a dude. What a dude. And honestly, I keep saying this, right? I think the last few months here on United People's TV, because of people like Orr and OG, the channel, people like Sigmund who have come in and become a huge part of the community, and Ant and Josh and Takeoff and Clive, all the mods and Vicky and Paula. There's so many names, I can't remember them all live. It's sensational, this community that's happened. But all of this is a build-up to not this Sunday, that's the Sunday after, our first game against Brighton. We've had years and years and years of being a laughing stock of a football club. But we're hoping that now changes. And big up to you all for helping continue this community, to help this community grow. All of you new members, I'll leave this link right here. And anybody who's not a member, you follow this link as well. Actually, no, if you remember, don't. Everybody join the community. Come over to Telegram. There's literally thousands of us on there. We have conversations all day long in different chats, and we're all building up to this Brighton game. For all the members, make sure you check out the YouTube community tab. There's a special members link in there. You come into the members only chat. And if you're on Facebook, go to the Facebook private members group. But thank you all, man. You're an absolute G. Thank you, everybody, for joining in this pre-season. I can't wait to see what comes next. Ronaldo, that's the big talking point. Will he come tomorrow to training? Well, he needs to. He absolutely needs to. If he doesn't, then there are really just a million questions to ask. This week's all about De Jong and Ronaldo. And you might not like it, people, and I keep saying this. We will keep talking about De Jong. He is still the number one priority. And Ten Hag will not stop until we either get him or we get a public confirmation that it's not happening. And until one of those two things happen, we will continue to talk about it. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. Thank you, Sigmund, for sending in 5 memberships to everyone and gifting that to the community. And big up to you all, my man, for sending in 50. What an absolute generous thing for him to do. But it's all helping the community grow and get bigger. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. I hope you have a good Monday. Busy Monday lined up. I might not do a podcast tonight. I might wrap up the podcast for the season, have a couple of weeks break on the podcast before we come back after the Brighton game. Undecided yet, but I'll let you know later. But thank you all for joining in, and make sure you check out my video at lunchtime. I'm not sure what that's going to be on today, but you'll see at lunch. Take it easy.